I recently got out of a relationship.
Like getting out of jail?
I was
I recently escaped from a relationship.
I was in a year-and-a-half relationship with my girlfriend, and throughout the relationship, especially the beginning, I never really wanted it. And I wanted to focus on myself and focus on my career and focus on following my own dreams and goals. And she knew that, and it's something that always affected our relationship and always...
You think? I'm here under protest.
And in the back of my mind, I always was like, I love and care about her, but I feel like this comes first. And it got to the point where she was like, I can't do this anymore. And she kind of ended things.
Because she believed all along that she could change you.
Right.
She didn't know that you were as clear about what you wanted as you are. So good experience was received by all, and here you stand, so now what?
Well, it didn't hit me until she was completely done and has moved on and talking to someone else, and I feel like my whole world has come crashing down, and she's all I think about. She's all and
So what this subject is really about, they want to tar and feather you. What this conversation is really all about is that when you are as most people are, this is going to make perfect sense to you, so just relax and take this in. It'll be easy for you.
Okay.
When you are, as most people are, rather conditional in your awareness of life. And so when there is someone in your life and there are aspects that you are appreciating, but aspects that you are not appreciating, all of that affects your vibrational output, which affects your relationship with your inner being. And so you did not have a really good relationship with your inner being on this subject because that bothered you, and that bothered you, and that bothered you, and that bothered you, and that bothered you. And so from a position of knowing what you didn't want, a position of focusing on what you didn't want, you drifted apart from this person. And now that person is no longer up close to you. Now you are still continuing that same vibrational pattern of focusing on what you do not want. The condition of whether she's there or whether she's gone is irrelevant, which sounds odd to you, but it really is irrelevant. It's the relationship that you have with your inner being that always represents how happy you are or how good you feel or how not good you feel. And so there's a saying in your physical environment that you never miss the water until the well runs dry. And that's sort of what's going on here, because there were many more positive aspects than that you were accurately or deliberately or consistently focusing upon. And so now the irritating points aren't there all day, every day. Now you're focused more upon the things that you did like, which is making that feeling of her no longer being there feel uncomfortable.
Right.
If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would acknowledge that through it all, you launched many rockets of desires. You know what you don't want, so you know what you do want. So we'd like to visit with you here about what you know that you do want as a result of that. And if you can, let's go back even to those annoying, overly possessive, her wanting something from you you were not ready to give. Go back to those times where you knew what you didn't want, so you know what you do want. What was some of that you wanted?
I wanted more, basically, freedom to pursue what I'm trying to become an actor, and I do stand-up comedy, and that was a big part of our relationship.
So you wanted your autonomy, you wanted your freedom. This is really interesting. You wanted no one to be dependent upon you. And yet now you feel sort of dependent. In other words, there is almost always a dependency in relationships that is not very helpful for either one of you. So you wanted more freedom, What else?
I wanted her to be dependent upon herself. I wanted her to be able to hang out, with her friends, do her...
So you wanted her to feel free also.
Correct.
So all of that is in your vortex. Now, what else do you believe is in your vibrational reality through all that you've lived relative to relationships? Freedom and autonomy for both, that's really a powerful cornerstone. But what else?
I guess for me to be completely happy and the other person to be completely happy.
To be catalyst to each other's alignment, to be happy. That's really good. What else? Try to get to some of the specifics. How did you blend in terms of cohabitating?
What do you mean?
We mean, were you compatible in terms of the kind of food you wanted to eat? Were you compatible in terms of of the way you kept your dwelling?
When we would hang out, everything was completely fine, but it wasn't towards the end of the relationship that she let me know that she just felt like it was never going to work out because I was never going to change my outlook on keeping the space and keeping...
Because you were not going to give her your undivided attention. You were going to be broader in your experience. You wanted a more rounded experience. You wanted her to be a part of your life, but not the only part of your life.
Correct.
And so, do you feel now that that's changed?
Yeah, I feel like as soon as she had said it was completely over, that everything came crashing down.
Yes,
and
but
I
see,
felt like...
this is the reason. Because you wanted her to be a part of your life, you just didn't want her to be the only part of your life.
Right.
And so then when she was no part of your life, then you want her to be a part of your life. But you still don't want her to be the only part of your life. You see what we're getting at?
Right.
In other words, if she were to see the error of her ways and come back to you because you're missing her, it would be right back to where it is again, because what she wants and what you want relative to a relationship are different things.
Right.
She is wanting you to give her your undivided attention, and you are wanting a broader spectrum, which is what everyone wants. Everyone wants to have many things that you're focused upon.
Right.
So we get it that in the complete absence of her that you're missing the parts of the relationship that you wanted. But the thing that we want to point out to you is that you have over time, and especially with this relationship, built a vibrational relationship that is really magnificent. And do you think right now, this red hot minute, that the reality of what she is offering you and you are offering her matches that vibrational reality?
No, not at the
It
moment.
doesn't, does it?
No.
It doesn't. And so can you feel that the discord that you feel, this is always true. Whenever you feel negative emotion, it always means the same thing. It means one thing and one thing only. You're looking at this specific situation, and your opinion about it is different than the opinion of your source. Because your source knows who you are and what you're looking for. And your source knows that this is not it. And so when you're focusing on it and wanting to call it, you feel the discord. In other words, whenever you focus upon the absence of something you want, you feel discord. But can you feel how you're focusing upon wanting to bring the presence of something that you don't want back?
Yeah.
And so can you feel how that's still negative emotion that you would feel? You
Right.
see? Your life isn't falling apart because the girl is gone. Your life feels like it's falling apart because you're using this subject to separate yourself from what the source within you knows. And the source within you knows that that relationship has served you extremely well, and that you've put all kinds of things in this vibrational reality, not only about the relationship, but about your physical activities, about your body building, about your acting, about your comedy, everything that you want, about your financial prowess, about your future experience. It's all in your vortex, and your inner being is calling you toward it. And so this negative emotion is just because you're focused upon conditions that are holding you apart from that happiness. That's all that it is. So we're going to give you something. Everybody's going to benefit by this.
Sure.
That will really serve you. It goes like this. So your vibrational reality and everything you want, the woman in your life, the women in your life, the women in your life, the women in your life, the variety in your life, all of the women in your life. So there's a vibration about all of that, about your career, about your finances, about your physical prowess, about all of that. There's a vibrational knowledge, a reality, an expectation, even more, a point of attraction that cooperative components are being drawn to. Big, fast momentum. There it is. So here you are, over here, focused upon a reality that isn't pleasing you, a long way from the vibration of that. So if you can, for a little while, just try not to focus upon this condition, and instead focus upon something that you can focus upon. You can focus upon the unconditioned. You can't focus upon the girl that you want being there, but you can focus on being happy. Right. You can find happy without the condition of something that makes you happy. Most people say, give me the condition and then I'll be happy. We say, doesn't work like that. Find happy and that will evolve to the condition. It's such a big difference, you see. You can't get there from there. You can't get to happy from knowing that what you had isn't something that you want, then feeling bad, which isn't happy, when something that you didn't want went away.
Yeah.
You can't get there from there. Yeah. You got to get to happy. You got to get to freedom. You've got to trust that your life showed you what you want, and you've got to allow others to gravitate to those who match them. There's nothing wrong with what she wants. It just doesn't match what you want, you see. So many people hold themselves in long-standing unhappy relationships as they try to get each other to satisfy the conditions so that they can be happy. Right. You used to do this so that I could be happy, and now you don't do it anymore, so I can't be happy. And we say, that's not freedom, that's bondage. And it's not because of what somebody else is or isn't doing. It's because of your misguided understanding of what happy is, right. You see.
Yeah, towards the end of our relationship, actually, all I kind of thought about was, being single, breaking it off. And sure enough, I believe that's what I had attracted. So it's like, do I truly miss it because I don't have it, or do I miss it just because?
You miss the positive aspects of it, of course you do. Right. You miss the positive aspects. But the thing that you want to understand is that there are so many more that hold everything that you want. Right. You see, let the universe deliver it all to you, not just some of it to you. Sometimes people will say to us something like this, and we'll say, find this frequency and hold it, and the likelihood of that relationship returning is very great. In this case, we're not saying that because your vortex version is so much more than that version was, you see. And yet, there's a feeling of, I should take any condition and I should make it work. Not true. There are all kinds of conditions that are not in vibrational harmony with who you are and what you want. And it's all right for you to focus outside that condition and allow what you really want to then come to you. And in many cases, what you really want will come from the environment in which you were living. In other words, sometimes it happens that way. But what you want is happy. And so this is the way we explain this, is that if you'll get general rather than specific, then your vibration will clear up and your realizations will be stronger and your impulses will too. Esther has a very good friend who has been doing her hair in San Diego area for many, many years. And her friend is so sweet and so cute and had been wanting a relationship for so long. So every time Esther was there, a few times a year, that was what her friend wanted to talk about. And Esther would always say, it's hard to know that something is coming when you can't see it. And not being able to see it is dominant. But I promise you that someday what you want will be there. And then one day, Esther shows up to have her hair done. Guess what, guess what, guess what? I met someone and he's wonderful. And Esther said, one day he wasn't there and the next day he was. Isn't that interesting? Not there, 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 not there. Because the vibration is there, 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 still no manifestation. The vibration is there, the vibration is there, the impulses are coming, the vibration is there, the impulses are coming, the vibration is there, the impulses are coming. Hello. So it seems like it's just this magical occurrence, but what it was basking, believing, hoping, wanting. In other words, focusing on what is wanted, holding herself in that vibration.